Today on Facing Life Head On.
I was totally taken off guard. I did not expect it at all. I just thought, I'd made the decision, we'd made the decision, I was happy, everybody was going to be happy, family was happy, woohoo, grandma, everybody excited. And I was in la la land.
Tasha Danvers-Smith had Olympic gold on her mind, and with good reason. Ranked 6th in the world, she was one of Britain's most promising prospects to win the 400-meter hurdles. So shortly after her marriage to Darrell, her American trainer, Tasha concentrated her sights on the next big event, the 2004 Olympics.
I definitely had hopes for the 2004 Olympics. That was in Athens, and I was ranked number 6 in the world in 2003 and number 1 in my country. I actually had run my lifetime best time in that year, 2003, so we were in great shape. And then, woohoo, out of nowhere. Well, maybe not out of nowhere, but we had unexpected pregnancies.
Tasha was 3 months away from competing in Athens. Her sponsors, the team, and Britain itself had high expectations for her.
Definitely a medalist, yeah, definitely, because that time that I ran as my personal best time, that in 2003, put me second on the list of greatest ever 400-meter hurdlers in Britain. I was second to Sally Gunnell, and Sally Gunnell is someone who once held the world record, so her world record time is the next fastest time before mine. So they're like, okay, Tasha can really do the business, and they were expecting great things in 2004. They definitely expected me to medal. Gold would have just been icing on the cake, but they definitely expected me to medal. And so that's a lot of pressure, because the UK is not like the US. We're not inundated with talent. We don't have a just stable. In the US, there's talent beyond talent, and every time a new high school kid comes through, there's more talent. England is so much smaller, you could probably fit it inside of California. So that being said, we have a smaller pool of people, and so when one person is doing well, everybody's watching. So unexpected happened, and it's hard to even describe what it was like, because it's such mixed emotions. Because Olympics is something, it's the ultimate goal of track and field, right? Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more. Even the World Championships are not as high as the Olympics. You can't get any more than the Olympics. So everything you train for, even though there's competitions in between, Commonwealth Games, European Championships, World Championships, and so on and so forth, ultimately you're training for the Olympics. So if you feel like you're in the shape of your life, and then someone, knocks on the door and says, "Excuse me, by the way, everything you train for is now non-existent." It's really tough. It was a huge struggle. It was very, very hard, because you don't want to be sad when you have a pregnancy, because you feel guilty. There's people who are dying to have children. There are people who, that's their one wish on this whole life, is that they could have a child. And to sit there and say, oh gosh, I'm devastated that I have a child, it's kind of, you feel bad about that, but at the same time you've trained for the last 15 years for this one competition, so it was hard. I mean, how did you feel?
My guilt was, I'm the coach. How do you look as the coach? Getting your athlete pregnant in the Olympic year. That's just not good business. And then we got to the life stuff. I mean, because it was the minor then the major. So that was the minor issue. That was ego, put that aside. Let's get back to the real stuff. No more distractions. We had to deal with it. And, you know, we bounced it back and forth for a while. And, you know, we would talk day and night and try to pretend it wasn't happening. And then there's no pretending. Like they say, you're not a little bit pregnant. You are. And like she said, she went to a competition, actually. When she got back, we had to sit down and we really had to hash it out.
When we come back, Darrell and Tasha prepare to make the big decision.
Before this situation, we never really talked about abortion per se and whether we thought it was wrong or right. So when it happened, it was like, we didn't really have, okay, well, we've already decided abortion is out.
Thank you for inviting us into your home. Each week we feature real people who deal with real-life issues head-on. Some of their experiences are uplifting, while others will break your heart. But in the end, the message is clear. Those who follow biblical principles on the issues of life are blessed. Become a partner with us in providing a positive, life-affirming message to help change the way the next generation values innocent human life. Please consider a generous gift to help offset the costs of producing this important quality programming. You can donate on our secure website at facinglife.tv or by calling the phone number on your screen during normal business hours. Together, we can make a real difference for life.
Just 3 months before Tasha Danvers-Smith was scheduled to compete in the 2004 Olympics, she and her husband learned they were pregnant. Pressure quickly began to build. Tasha was Britain's top contender for gold, so the couple began discussing their options.
Before this situation, we never really talked about abortion per se and whether we thought it was wrong or right. So when it happened, it was like, we didn't really have, okay, well, we've already decided abortion is out. And so we discussed it, and even to the point where we thought, okay, well, we'll book an appointment and then just see what happens. We did the whole, okay, let's go ahead with the dream. And when we actually went through the process, it just didn't feel right. And we just knew that it wasn't right. And then when we just said, okay, forget what people think, one way or another, God's gonna take care of us. We'll survive through this. You know, it's not the end of the world. People have children every day. Financial situation isn't great, but something will figure itself out. We have a good, supportive family. And even if we didn't, something would still work itself out. When we made that, I mean, because we struggled through that whole process, but when we just finally said, it's not an option anymore to have an abortion, it was like just a sense of peace just took over the whole situation. It was all okay all of a sudden.
We knew we made the right choice, which led us to our next episode of dealing with the public. And because we knew we had made the right choice and we had gone through what we had gone through personally in a short time frame, and it was really, you know, if we were on the track, it would be a ballistic workout, a real violent workout, because it was just boom, 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 and you can't avoid it. You can't dance around it. So we had to make a decision, go public with it. And, you know, the family's like, the Olympics care less. Okay. You're pregnant. Good. Let's be pregnant. We're going to have another grandbaby and move on in life. And there'll be another Olympics and keep it moving. So we're great at home. And then, of course, we get into newspaper reports and people in positions of power back in England.
What were some of the comments that you had to endure?
You know, couldn't you have done something to prevent this? One article I read said something to the effect of, this is probably just an indication of how dedicated Tasha is to the sport. And to me, they're not even in conjunction with each other. They don't even match. It's not, okay, she has a baby, so she's not serious about the sport. You can't be in track and field at the level I was competing at and not be serious. It's not possible. You to be at that level, to be number 6 in the world, to be you're number one in your country, to run those kind of times, you have to be doing something. You don't get that far just on talent. There's a lot of talented people that can get very far, but you don't get that far just on talent. There has to be some dedication, and you don't run for 15 years just to say, oh, you know, it's Olympic year. Want to have a kid? you know. So I was highly offended and hurt. I was totally taken off guard. I did not expect it at all. I just thought, you know, I'd made the decision, we'd made the decision, I was happy, everybody was going to be happy, family was happy, woohoo, grandma, everybody excited. And I was in la la land because the family and Darrell and I were the only ones that were happy outside of that. And understandably so, people get their hopes up and they support you. So in some people think that means they own you and you should follow the path that they think you should follow. And so they were very, very negative, and it was very depressing. He had to, you know, get me out the shower crying on quite a few occasions.
Unknown to Tasha, Life Issues Institute, the sponsor of this program, had awarded her their coveted Hero at Heart Award. But without any way to contact her, the Institute posted the award on its website.
One night I couldn't sleep, and I was, you know, depressed, and so I decided to Google myself. I don't know why I decided to Google myself, but, you know, that is when I happened upon the Life Issues website, because my name popped up and it said Hero at Heart. And I'm like, what's all this about? Who's messing with me now? So I read into it, and you had awarded me with the Hero at Heart for making the decision. And I just thought, well, hallelujah, somebody else other than my family cares about Jaden's life. And that, that is very important, because as an athlete, your whole life is in front of a stage, an arena, a crowd. To know that I didn't have support from that part of my life, which was such a huge part of my life, it was hurtful. So to find that there were people outside of, you know, because it's kind of like when your mom says, okay, Mom, what do you think of this song? Oh, it's lovely, darling. You know, you kind of, it's a biased, you know, judgment. Of course your family is going to be happy about, but I wanted other people to feel what I felt and see what I saw.
Tasha contacted the Institute, who told her they had also collected hundreds of encouraging emails that supporters had written to her. That was on its way, along with the engraved Hero at Heart Award.
When you told me it was a real award, I was like, yes, I can have it in my living room. Unbelievable. I was really happy, because I thought it was just like a, you know, a thing you say. You know, and to see, we were really excited when you said it was an award. Where can I send it? I was like, ooh, another award, yay, this will be the best one. Then the emails that came after that, that just really put the icing on the cake, because I was trying to email as many people back as I could just to say thank you, but it was, I wish I could have emailed everybody, but there was so many, and I mean, young, old, I'm talking all the way 12-year-olds, all the way up to 50 plus, just young and old. Everybody was just saying, you know, well done on that decision, you guys, and just keep it up, keep up the good work, good luck in the future, hope, you know, because even at this stage, we still don't know what's track life going to be like after I have the baby. Who knows, because every pregnancy, it's like a snowflake. Every pregnancy is different for every woman. You just don't know how it's going to affect you. I didn't know if I'd really be able to come back to the form that I was in before. As far as I know, my track career could be over.
Stay tuned to see what Tasha's plans are now.
Last time I checked, in 9 months, the pregnancy will be over. She'll just be Tasha with a baby.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
Earlier, we met Tasha Danvers-Smith, a world-class runner, and her husband and coach, Darrell. Just months before the Olympics, the couple found out they were pregnant. But faced with the choice to go for Olympic gold or having the baby, amid much criticism, Darrell and Tasha chose life.
She's not a lawyer, a doctor, or administrative assistant. She's an athlete. Her body is her business. She went into her pregnancy, and like she said, once we made that decision, the decision was made. No regrets, no doubts.
No backtrack.
But she never stopped training. She just became a pregnant athlete. Matter of fact, she probably trained harder pregnant than she did when she wasn't
I
pregnant.
got kicked out of my class too.
Yes.
Said I
My
was
mom,
too
she
pregnant.
drove my mom crazy. She really did. Because she would train every day, spinning classes, walking, jog when she could. She had strangers at the track. Oh, you're pregnant. You shouldn't jog. You get brain damage to your baby.
Oh God!
And
don't
we've talked
remind
to
me.
doctors. You know, she talked to her doctor, asked all
It's
the
okay
questions.
for people at my level of school.
And it's just the point of, like I told Tasha at the time, when the news came from back in England and, oh, her career's over. Oh, well, how stupid was this? Why didn't she do something to prevent this and all that? Who said pregnancy was death? The woman didn't die. She got pregnant. And then last time I checked, in 9 months, the pregnancy will be over. She'll just be Tasha with a baby. She won't be pregnant for the rest of her life. And I think that's something that's a message that now needs to be put out as we've gone through this progressive era of society now.
Tell us about the day that Jaden was born.
Well, that was a fun day. The morning, I thought I was feeling some, didn't I? I thought I was feeling some contractions, but I wasn't quite sure.
As I said, how far apart, you know, you ran through all the TV monologue. How far apart? Have you called the doctor? Do we need to go?
Where's the suitcase?
No was the answer. No, been going through this since 4:30. They kind of subsided. So I'm going, okay. Don't know if it's a false alarm, but we're not in.
So we just stayed at home and we were doing dancing and, you know, carrying, well, I was doing the electric slide with Darrell's mom and, you know, we're just having fun. And
In labor, you were doing the electric slide.
Oh yeah. I'd been holding out to the last minute to go to the hospital because I was like, once I get there, they're going to try and strap me to the bed and lay there, and I want to be able to be as active as possible for as long as possible. So then came the big contractions. I was like, Darrell, let's go. And he knew then I was serious.
No more electric slide.
No more electric slide. There was electric, but it wasn't sliding. So we got to hospital and, you know, went through the labor. He was born at about 1. He was born at 1:32 a.m. on the 8th of December. Darrell was like, how could anybody look more like me? It was incredible. And we didn't know what sex he was, so we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl yet, so that added to all the excitement.
What do you plan to tell Jaden when he gets older?
Jaden, you're great. You've taught us what's important in life. You've taught us how to handle difficult situations. You've taught us that even when you want to get approval from others, the approval of God is the one that you should be seeking. And that's who talks to your heart. And that's why I say you should follow your heart. And he'll know that he's special. He has even changed the way I handle my sport, because I was not even a half as motivated as I am now. It's just for the simple fact that I know what life is like without track now. You know, he showed me, okay, this is the other side. You could have it this way if you don't, you know, if you don't really want track that much. And I didn't really like that. I'm not really the 9-to-5 girl. So it has really made me want to take it to the next level for real. I think before, when I thought about the Olympics, it was kind of like the thing that every athlete says they want to do, just because it's the thing you should say that you want to do. You know, now that I look back on it. But now it's like, this is what I want to do.
Up next, Tasha talks about where she's at now.
We're starting from scratch, you know, all over, right from the bottom.
Thanks again for joining us. It's our hope and prayer you find this program inspiring, heartwarming, and motivating. Remember, quality programming like this is only possible when people who care become partners with us for life. Please become a partner by sending your gift through our secure website at facinglife.tv or call the phone number on your screen during normal business hours. We need you to succeed. Here's another way you can help. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of the program and share your ideas for future topics or guests. The next generation is depending on us to give them the information they need to face life head on. We'll see you next week, and may God bless you.
If you know somebody who's considering an abortion, you can help. Understand that she's probably feeling enormous pressure.
Listen to her, support her, validate her feelings, and remind her that she has the full support of friends and family. And most importantly, guide her to professional help.
There are women's care centers that can provide things like food, clothes, and financial assistance. Women often choose abortion because they feel helpless.
But you can be the first to show a hurting soul that help is on the way.
British hurdler Tasha Danvers-Smith held off on her Olympic dreams when she and her husband found out they were pregnant with their son, Jaden. Tasha says she faced enormous pressure to have an abortion.
In this sport in particular, because it is an individual sport and everybody's judged individually, it can be quite difficult, and especially for a woman, because if you're a man, you're having a family, no one's bothered. But as a woman, you're expected to put that life on hold. You know, you don't play about with this. This is your time to be an athlete, and we'll let you know when you can start doing that kid thing. A lot of women feel the pressure to have an abortion if they get pregnant in the sport, and especially if they're successful already. You know, if they've already reached a stage or they're on the peak of just about to become really successful. That pressure is huge. But these competitions come and go and come and go. And okay, yeah, I might have been the Olympic champion in 2004. But in 2024, probably nobody at that competition would remember that. So what was the big deal? But in 2024, I'll be hanging out with my grown son, maybe going to his wedding, who knows? That's what is true, that's what is real, and that's what makes sense. I missed out on a huge opportunity. I lost contracts, I lost sponsorships because I didn't go to the Olympics. We're starting from scratch, you know, all over, right from the bottom. I wouldn't change it for the world. No regrets, no. Even on the days when I want to wring that child's neck, there's still no regret. None whatsoever, because we know it's right. It's so right. It is just so perfect. That is just the way life is supposed to be. So what? I missed the Olympics. Like you said, here comes another one. You know, 2008.
And your Olympic dreams haven't died, right?
Sure haven't. In fact, it's been increased, you know, like I said, because now I want it even more. I missed this one. Let's give it another shot. And I was worried about where my performance would be, and I've come back exactly where I left off in 2003, back to number 6 in the world, back to number 1 in my country, and I couldn't ask for a better story. I've never been this excited about track and field, to be honest. I liked running. I was good at running. I ran because I could. But now I'm just excited. I want to see what's going to happen in 2007. I want to see what's going to happen in 2008. And, I want to watch Jaden grow and see me compete. And I could not imagine him ever not being in my life. I would be devastated if that boy ever was not in my life, because he is so wonderful. There was no doubt from the minute we said the abortion was not an option. There was no doubt that it was the right choice.
As Tasha prepares for the Summer Olympics, she'd love to hear from you. Go to facinglife.tv and send your personal email encouraging her on. While there, you can see additional great footage not aired of my interview with Tasha and Darrell.